Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Don't talk to me like that. Don't be nice to me. No.
Nope.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways,
how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Doing good. Still enjoying all these fall colors as we're... Holy crap. We're in December.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
We're rolling into December on this episode.
Okay.
We're like damn near mid-December at this point.
Okay.
Think we'll get snow this year?
Maybe we already have.
Dude, I honestly thought it was going to snow yesterday. I really did. I really did.
I mean, last week, as we're recording, it was in the 30s in the morning.
Yeah.
Several times.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been barely warmer this week. Like, what, mid-40s?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess 10 degrees is... I guess 10 degrees is 10 degrees, but whatever. I don't know. I literally thought it was going to snow yesterday because it was just so gray and dreary outside.
It was
And, like,
nowhere near that cold.
Yeah, well, I wasn't out there. I was in here, working on, picture stuff. As I give you some side jazz hands.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. No, I mean, like, obviously I can see out the windows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh, like maybe it was wishful thinking, like, oh, is that a band of snow coming at us? I would love to have some snow, honestly. Here's the thing. I love the snow and I think it's beautiful and everything. 1, I hate what it does to the lawn. 2, I hate what it does to traffic. And 3, I hate being fucking cold. So it's like, which way do we go? Which way do we actually prefer? Do we really want the snow or not? Yeah. But I like it when it's snowing. I like building snowmans.
Yeah. I would also prefer to be cold than to be too hot.
Well, okay, fair point. I would prefer to be cooler than hotter because there was some miserable days this year where it was just too fucking hot.
Yep.
And it was probably worse for you because you have so much body hair. It's like a walking, talking Wookiee.
A waka waka.
That's a Fozzie bear.
Yep. Which is the name of my roommate's new puppy.
Yeah. And are you really liking that puppy?
He's all right. I mean, he's a puppy. So.
You're like, he's a dog. That's fine.
Yep. It's another dog.
Me and Squizzy will just go upstairs. It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. Yeah, he's not a Chowini or what? He's not a Chowini, right?
No. I don't know what the fuck kind of dog
He's some
he is.
kind of a terrier mix. I saw the picture. He's some kind of terrier mix of some kind.
Some kind of super fuzzy dog. I don't know.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was my dog. Fuzzy
Yeah.
Wuzzy. Well, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, and then Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair.
Yep.
So, there's that.
So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he?
Nope. Man, as we're getting into holiday season, it's so I can't get into the holiday spirit. I don't care if I don't think the family's gonna get together and do anything this year, and that's fine by me. I definitely know I'm not going to anybody's house for holidays, as far as I know at this point.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Wouldn't that okay? Like, I'm not trying to be morose. Can you pause that for a second?
Anyhow.
Anyways, that was not appropriate on my question, but it literally flashed through my head. So then I'm just like, well, and then I was pondering it, and then it was just like, and I didn't want to get upset by it, so I was just like, I'm just gonna ask the question off mic, and that's just gonna be good enough, right?
Okay.
So, anyways, I'm hoping to get my car washed one more time before the end of the year, without taking it somewhere. I hate taking it somewhere because I swear to God, people like take their oil pans and wash it at the car wash. So anytime I get water on the fucking ground, it's like makes my car dirtier.
Just go to Dancing Bear or whatever the fuck.
Pink Elephant?
That place doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, so it's Dancing Bear is a fucking...
I know.
You're such a cocksucker.
Brown Bear.
Brown Bear, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand we just drove by the old shop recently, not a
Yeah.
few days ago, but recently.
Like last week or something? Week before last.
In the last 2 weeks. In the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks, we'll say. And it was kind of interesting because it's almost like they haven't progressed any further on that shop.
Yeah.
And and it's just like it's almost eerie. Like is it triads? Is it triads or triads? How do you say it?
Triads.
Are the triads doing something over there? Which would be really funny. But I mean, like, kudos to them for fencing up the back of it, like chain link fencing and cementing it back there.
Yeah.
So that looks good. But dancing bear, fuck that.
I always like that play on words.
Yeah. But
No.
Well, a lot of our episode titles we use a play on words too.
Yeah.
Like, what if it's a marvelous day?
Mm-hmm.
Get it? Marvel?
No, I didn't get it.
Oh, shucky darn. Shucky darn.
I still don't get it.
You are a dick. You don't have one. Minuscule doesn't count anymore. We know this.
I'm a minuscule dick.
I'm a minuscule dick.
Yeah.
You're a massive dick with a minuscule cock. How about that?
No.
Like, no, the other way around. Do it the other way around. No. Anyways.
Any fucking way.
So this weekend, you ran your game group for the Halloween holiday.
Yes.
Not today or yesterday, but for the Halloween holiday, you had ran your game group through a scenario in the Warhammer 40K universe, you said? Or just the Warhammer?
Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah. So what was your little ditty about? Sorry.
Chuck and Diane.
You mean Jack and Diane?
Jack and Diane, sure. Yeah, that too. So originally I had planned on running... So the Warhammer setting is very dark, grim dark even. And so a lot of it is kind of appropriate for Halloween season.
Sure.
Just kind of by default.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But they have like lots of like modules or whatever for adventures for sort of spooky type stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like haunted houses and fucking demon possession.
Haunted, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And lots of monsters. So I was originally going to do that, but then the plans kind of changed, and one of the person who was going to be hosting the game
Was limited on time.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. I will do my backup plan, which is basically using another game, a board game called Warhammer Quest, as basically to generate a random dungeon.
Okay.
Which is exactly what the game does. That's what it's set up to do.
Yeah. And you can do just a quest with just a dungeon or a catacomb, yeah?
Yeah.
Anyways.
And so yeah, I just used that, and then I kind of pre-selected a objective room, it's called.
Okay.
Where the big main battles.
And this is using the cards that I'd helped you with at the library, right?
Yes.
Help you scan the library.
Yes.
Okay, I can pull it together a little bit better in my head. That makes more sense.
Because you use cards. For those who don't know, you use cards. There's several decks of cards. First deck of cards is dungeon tiles, which is like literally the floor plan. So you shuffle those up, and then you draw a card, and then it tells you which dungeon tile to lay down. And so you just go through the dungeon. Each time you come to a new room, you draw a new card.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and some of the things on those cards were kind of epically like, ooh, you don't want to get that card.
Yeah. Well, with the event cards, yeah, some of them are kind of harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are kind of save or die kind of situations, although usually not. Some of them will just ruin you. But yeah, I used that as kind of the mechanics to take care of like the monsters that are there. Sure. And the treasures that are there, because there's cards for both of those things. And also for the actual layout of the dungeon.
Yeah.
And then basically I just adjudicated the rules, and then they ran through it and survived, and conquered.
None of them died. They all survived.
Yeah. I mean, so the first level, basically, of the random dungeons is pretty simple. Even if you're using just the straight up Warhammer Quest rules, it's fairly uncommon for anybody to die. But basically, I was using the Warhammer Fantasy Battles or Fantasy Roleplay rules for them, for the characters, and then adjusting the monsters to that game rather than the other way around.
Right.
Because it's easier to do it that way. The monsters end up being fairly weak compared to the roleplay characters. But that doesn't necessarily matter because there's so many of them
Right.
that they could end up being killed due to swarms. Also, random events, some of them just do damage to you.
Yeah.
And there's no like, oh, well, my toughness is really high, so I'm going to shrug this off. No, there's a bunch of them that just ignore your armor and toughness.
Right. The puny gods forget you.
Yeah. So, yeah.
No, it sounds like you had a good time.
Yep. Although it was running a little long, so I had to basically be like, okay, the next room we're going to encounter is going to be the objective room. Because we still had like 5 or 6 rooms left, and we only had like less than an hour left.
Yeah, and you
it's
want to
like,
make sure
yeah.
when you're doing these games like this, these specialty games, you want to make sure you hit completion.
Yeah.
So which is cool. Because you don't really like being a DM. You don't like being the dungeon master.
I mean, I would prefer playing,
Right.
but I have an idea and I kind of want to test it out. And this was kind of an initial foray into that.
Yeah.
Basically, because we didn't have time to like make characters and everything, so I had pre-made a bunch of characters. Unfortunately, I had pre-made a bunch of characters like I want to say 2 years ago. And I thought I had completely done that and uploaded them onto my drive so that I could just print out the character sheets.
Yeah.
But I had only done that with 5 of the characters.
Oh no.
The rest of them I had gone through. Well, it's a fairly in-depth process, I guess you would say, especially when you're doing it with a bunch of different people. So I was trying to make essentially a party of iconic characters for each of the races that you can play, and basically having iconic classes for each of those races. And so I had done that for basically 2 races, ogres and wood elves.
Okay.
But I hadn't done that for the high elves, the dwarves, blah, blah, blah. I had started going through and filling out character sheets, but I hadn't completed all the math. And so I had to go through and complete all the math. And so I stayed up late the night before, and then I got up early the morning of to make sure that I got done. And I did most of them. And then just before I left, I was like, oh shit, here's another stack of them. Because I was just in the zone of filling out the information instead of like paying attention. But yeah, there was still more than enough. Also, pretty much always when you get a new edition of a game, they'll have pre-generated characters for you to just start playing immediately.
Yeah.
And so the starter kit, Jeremy has the starter kit for Warhammer Fantasy 4th edition. And that comes with like 5 pre-generated characters, I believe.
Right.
And so several people used characters from that. Like Jeremy used the Dwarf Slayer. And Marlon used an elf merchant. Yeah. And then, yeah.
So everybody, so you created different characters. I mean, obviously you've got decades of experience with this stuff, right? Yeah, that look on your face is like, duh. It really is. You like literally, duh. So you've got decades of experience. You know what you're doing. You know how to make balanced characters for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And so, but you let them pick which of those characters they did.
Yes.
Did it cross your mind at any point? Because Mwahaha. I am a little devious at heart in some aspects. Did it ever cross your mind that we've got these 5 pre-made characters that are aligned with the book, right? And then we've got these 10 characters that I've created. Did you ever think about assigning them numbers and making people roll for their character?
I considered that, but I don't like doing that sort of thing, because I personally don't. I mean, I would roll with it, but I would fucking not be happy if I roll the character type that I don't like or whatever. Warhammer is kind of harsh in that aspect alone, because so when you're generating a character in Warhammer, there's basically 2 main ways to do it. You can pick and choose what you want, or you can roll for it. And Jeremy is a huge fan of having everybody roll for it. And in the new system, the old system, it was just you just fucking roll for it or you pick.
Okay.
In the new system, it's like you can roll for it, and if you do roll for it and you take everything along the lines of what you roll, then you get bonus experience points to start with. So you get a reward for taking completely random shit.
Yeah. Because you're taking that risk of having like very poor stats.
Yeah,
on
having
stuff
poor stats with a bad race choice for a class that sucks.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is sort of that playing a character like that can be rewarding because you can be like, I came from the bottom and now I'm whatever. I'm amazing or whatever. But to me, I don't want to play a fucking halfling rat catcher.
Have you ever played a character that you have completely done all roles for? Ever? Have you ever stuck with a character that you've done that way? Or have you just been like,
yes.
Please give me the D1. Please just give me the D1. I'm fucking over this character.
Yeah, I have.
Both?
Yeah, I mean, I've like re-rolled some characters. Basically, we were doing a game and we rolled for everything, and the first character that came up, I was like, yeah, I really don't want to play that. Let's roll again.
So, and what detracts you from certain characters might be their like inherent aspects that they have from their culture, or from their like rats can't swim. You know, like they don't float, or I mean, you know, I'm kind of curious how that works, because it seems to me like everybody should be like they can't gain certain abilities or whatever.
You can gain abilities or whatever. So the way Warhammer works, you kind of still have this. It's called a career path. So your character, a rat catcher, is an actual class that you can start out with. It's not really a class. It's your fucking career. And they kind of suck. They don't get good gear to begin with. You get a dog, a rat terrier, something like a small but vicious dog. That's what you get.
So a Chiweenie, okay.
Yeah, a rat terrier, because they're rat killing dogs. And Chihuahuas are just fucking pets. They're not an actual fucking working type of dog. So like I said, they get shit for gear, and they're peasants, right? So they get shit for gear. They have shit for money. Their skills are mediocre at best for anything. Like their job is walking around catching rats. It's not like you're fucking even a hunter.
You're like, I had to catch enough fucking rats in real life. I don't want to fucking do it on the video game, on the game I'm trying to enjoy.
And then, like, I mean, I think they might get, like, disease resistance or something like that. It's probably the best thing about that fucking class. It's kind of like there's a class called the Slave also, or a career called the Slave. Now, you can't start out with that one. I don't think you can start out. Yeah, it's not one of the ones that you can roll for in the basic game.
Okay.
But they added it. I don't know if they have it in this edition, but in second edition, they added it when they added the Skaven.
Okay.
Because the Skaven are big fans of capturing people and using them as slaves. So if you get captured in game,
they can turn you.
And you're used as a slave, you can take a career advancement that makes you a slave as your career. And there are some benefits to it, but for the most part, it sucks, and it's just a bunch of wasted time.
Yeah.
As far as your experience goes, so in D&D, when you advance, basically you get enough experience to gain a new level. There's a bunch of basically set up predetermined rewards, and then there's maybe a choice or two. And it's graphed out. You can see everything that happens for your class as you progress. Warhammer kind of has the same thing, but it's not all at once. So in D&D, you get 1,000 experience points. Now you're level 2.
Right.
In Warhammer, that's not the way it works at all. In Warhammer, you get 4 or 5 experience points. I think it's 5. You get 5 experience points every game session.
Okay.
And then, depending upon how the GM feels like dealing with it, you can get additional experience points based on doing certain specific things.
That is unless it's a really low amount of numbers to get to your next leveling, that would be a slow fucking grind.
Yeah. So in Warhammer, instead of getting 7 or 8 different things every time you level up, in Warhammer, what you do is the way you level up is by spending experience point on individual things. So, for instance, every attribute that you have, in other words, how strong you are, how tough you are, blah, 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 all of those, with the exception of like movement and a couple other ones, you can spend experience points to increase individually. So from 0 to 5 advances in an attribute, it costs 15 experience points to increase your attribute by 1 point. And then after you get to 6, then it goes up to 20 or something. So every point on your sheet, basically, all of your skills cost 10 points from 0 to 5 per advance, which is basically, in this system, you roll percentile dice, and you have to roll equal to or lower than the combination of your attribute and skill, if a skill applies to it. So, for instance, if you're swinging your sword, well, that's a hand weapon. It's a melee weapon.
Okay.
And so you would have your melee weapon skill. This is kind of a confusing example because the attribute is called weapon skill. But you take your weapon skill, which is going to be a percentile number, usually around 30, because that's where it starts at.
Okay.
On average, for the average human, all their stats average around 31. Well, the majority of their attributes are going to be 31-ish. Anyway, so you take your weapon skill number and you add however many skill points you have in melee sword fighting or whatever. You add those two numbers together, and that's what you have to roll equal to or less than on a D100.
Yeah, that sounds like way more confusing than it needs to be.
I mean, that's basically the same way every other game works. There's a target number that you're trying to meet, and usually you're trying to exceed the number. But in some games, especially games that use percentile dice, you're trying to get equal to or less than the number. In D20 systems, you're trying to get above. You're trying to meet or exceed the number. But because the way percentiles work, you need to do it in reverse.
Oh, I mean, I like games that challenge me to a certain degree, but it's just like, the biggest thing, obviously, is we're sitting here, we're talking about it. I don't actually have a character sheet in front of me to where I can apply what you're telling me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to imagine it, and I'm just like, is this like a scorecard kind of thing? But it sounds like it is, but it isn't. It sounds like you've got a base stat card, and you know what you're working towards. And if you hit that goal, then you change the stat to the new stat. But I don't. It sounds like I'm sure it's not complicated to you. Yeah.
Also, like, you're trying to imagine it, I could just show you, and it would make more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as you're advancing in Warhammer, like I said, each time you spend experience points, you're buying a little advancement.
Yeah.
Or when it comes to talents, you buy a talent and now you have the talent.
Yeah.
Skills are kind of the same way, but the way that your careers work is they dictate what you can spend your points on.
Yeah.
So if you're a rat catcher, you're not going to be spending points on getting spells. You can't.
Yeah.
Because that's not part of your career.
That's not part of your wheelhouse.
Yeah. Instead, you'll be maybe learning how to make traps or something. I don't remember exactly.
So because of how the game system dynamic works, is that why you prefer being like mages? Because you like the idea of using a lot of spells?
I mean, I like playing a mage or a cleric type character, just because I like magic and shit. Although, I guess a lot of the times when I played Warhammer, I have worked towards that goal. The problem is with Warhammer, like I said, you typically don't get to just select your fucking race and class.
Yeah.
You can do that, but it kind of depends upon the game group that you're running with.
Yeah. Does it have to be a group decision to all one way or all the other, or can it be a mixed bag?
It can be a mixed bag. It depends upon who all is there. I mean, sometimes people will be like, no, everybody needs to roll to determine their class and all that.
I don't like that.
But sometimes people will be like, no, everybody can make their own decisions for themselves.
See, I think that's how it should be. It's supposed to be a game that you guys are supposed to be enjoying. So,
well, one of the problems is that if everybody rolls, then you're kind of all on the same page as far as we all randomly got a class, we all randomly got a race, we all randomly got our attributes. If, however, you're like, okay, everybody can do what they want. Well, I'm going to choose to be an ogre, and I'm going to choose to be an ogre wizard because I'm so strong and tough that I can survive long enough to actually become a really good wizard.
okay.
And ogres are kind of broken stat-wise.
Okay.
They do have a couple of drawbacks, like they're too big to fit inside of a lot of stuff. Like if you're going on an adventure and the first thing you come across is, hey, you need to get in this stagecoach and ride it over to the next city over.
Guess what? You're going to be walking behind it.
Yeah, the ogre's going to be fucking jogging behind the fucking stagecoach. Now, that's kind of a role-playing problem, right? Then also you have ogres eat like 4 times as much as a normal human, something like that. So they have way more money is going to be spent on just food to survive. That's also a role-playing problem. It isn't necessarily like the game master isn't necessarily actually going to penalize the character, penalize the player, and be like, okay, you have to fucking spend all your money on food because you haven't eaten for 3 days. Now, it's not that big of a deal to the halfling who is like the size of your foot, but for you, that's a lot of fucking food you haven't eaten, right? So
you're probably if you ran into that situation, then the halfling in your group might be lucky it wasn't taken as a hunger snack. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you actually? Okay, I am not being a smartass, but I'm being dead ass serious. Could you actually do that? Could you actually eat one of your campaign
One of your
friends?
players?
Yes.
It is. I mean,
have you ever been in a game where that's happened?
No. And the reason is because obviously that's a heinous fucking thing to do, and everybody else would probably murder the shit out of your character.
Right, but there are certain people that I think of that you've played games with over the years, and I'm like, did anybody eat him? Did anybody call Cthulhu upon him?
I mean, we had one game group where I'm not going to name him, but one of our players was kind of an ass.
Sure.
And he was doing ridiculous shit all the time. And so the game master cut off the character's balls. Like in a, there was like some sort of a fight, and
you lost your testicles.
Yeah, the enemy critted him, and he just said, okay, yeah, you got your balls cut off. And then because he was playing a game of fuck around and find out, The character also ended up getting repent branded on his forehead.
Repent?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, and this was in a Warhammer game, and there's some strong like religious zealotry tones to the setting.
Sure.
And so one of the classes that you could play is a witch hunter. And they run around fucking burning witches at the stake. Except witches actually exist in this game, right? So,
right.
And they are a fucking problem. Magic in general is a serious potential threat to all of humanity.
Right.
To the entire fucking planet, not just, oh, you're casting spells. No, these are real spells. They summon real demons.
That's how you know it's a spell.
I mean, it says it's a fucking spell in the book.
Just like, dude, thinking back on that conversation, like you're just the dead ass serious look you had. Like every time, like I've listened to that episode, I think 3 times now, because we're involved in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
We're here, we're involved in the conversation, and sometimes we get in deep, right? And it's just like, and literally the true. Wait, what are we saying? That really happens because we'll get a little tangent of something because sometimes stuff's not so black and white to explain, right? So, but I every time I hear it, I remember this dead ass serious look on your face, and it cracks me up so hard, which is it can be problematic when I'm re-listening to episodes because I'm listening to them at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and sometimes I don't control my level of laughter. They're real spells.
Yeah.
And I still feel so bad that your friend lost all his.
Yeah.
And his mom threw his shit away.
Yeah.
And just because I'm such a smartass, I'm really surprised. And I know you're a smartass. I'm kind of surprised your friend isn't a smartass too and go, well, hocus pocus, mom. You better bring them back or your boobies are going to fall off or something crazy.
Wow. I'm sure at the time he wasn't thinking about all that. He was just pissed off because his mom burnt his shit.
I know he was crying. It's okay.
Yeah, that could
I'd be crying too because think about all the money. Think about all the money. She just burned the money up.
Yeah.
And she didn't pay for it. He paid for it with his own money that he earned, right?
As far as I know.
Yeah. I mean, like I'd be like, Mom, I know it's been Mommy. I know. Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Mommy. Mommy, I know it's been 30 years, but you broke my you broke my Guns N' Roses cassette, and I want it back. I can see a fucking fit.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the dude he was like, oh, well, I'm going to take my balls and I'm going to get them bronzed, and then I'm going to wear them as a necklace. And so...
So they're just antagonizing each other back and forth.
Yeah.
Did it ever turn into a real world physical fight?
No. I want to say the closest thing there have been several times when people have gotten really pissed off in the game sessions. And it's been like not just Sean, it's been multiple different game masters that I've seen that happen with.
Yeah.
Like another friend Sean, he got upset one time. We were playing what the fuck was it? Oh, we were playing God damn it, Death Watch.
Okay.
And he didn't want to be playing Death Watch. He was the dude who was super into the Savage Worlds game system.
Okay.
And more or less, he refused to run anything other than Savage Worlds. So we played several dozen games using the Savage World rule set, but different settings.
Okay.
And then we decided that we wanted to play Death Watch because Warhammer 40K. And
you're like, durr.
Yeah. And so he was like, okay, I don't even know anything about this setting. So I helped him make he wanted to play Tau, which there wasn't rules for Tau at the time. I think there are now, depending upon which game you're playing. But anyway, and I was like, okay, so just make a Adeptus Mechanicus, which are these dudes who basically worship technology. And basically all science related stuff they're in control of.
Okay.
So all technology and whatnot. And I was like, okay, just call them a Tau. And so it's the easiest way to handle stuff like that. Just find something close to what you're trying to accomplish and then go with that and then call it something else. So anyway, I got him all set up with that character. And then and then we were doing stuff and he kept wanting to insert Savage Worlds rules into the Warhammer game.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. I mean, you could, but it would need to be, first of all, it would need to be something that more or less everybody agreed on, or at least the game master was like, okay, this is the way I'm adjudicating this type of rule, is that you do this. But he just wanted to, I think he was done dealing with us, and he just wanted an excuse.
The guy who loved Savage World.
Yeah. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm done hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
He got in a big argument with the fucking game master and with Sean about basically, so in Savage Worlds you have these things called stunts, and if you can describe a way in which this rule would apply,
right,
you can say, okay, I'm doing X. So he was trying to get the enemies to duck and cover. And basically he was saying that he was going to roll his attack roll, but he wasn't going to deal damage. Instead, he was going to apply a penalty to the enemies because they were trying to be in cover. So then they would have a penalty on their attacks towards us. And it's like, that's not really the way this game works. It doesn't have a mechanic. It does have a mechanic for fear and for pinning and stuff,
right?
Which is effectively what you're trying to do, but it doesn't work anything like you usually don't get to choose to enact that.
Yeah.
There are some very specific circumstances in which you can, but this wasn't one of them. And so he got really bent out of shape and fucking ended up leaving and quitting our game group entirely.
Take my meat cheese and go home.
I mean, he had several arguments with Sean and a couple other people, so he was pretty much done dealing with us in general. So yeah, and then there was other times where similar stuff happened, but yeah, arguments happen. They
do. I mean, like I think the funniest but the most physical one I heard about was the cookie and peanut butter.
Yep. Yeah, we were
chipped and dipped.
Yep. Yeah, we were over at Martin's apartment and the power was out. This was a few years back when there was like a power outage for like 2 weeks.
Oh, this is several years ago. Yeah.
And fucking, well, in that apartment area, it was out for like 2 weeks, and it was like in the negative 20s or some shit for that entire time. So those people were sucking. But anyway, we were at his apartment playing by candlelight and shit, and Martin was drinking, and he had a fucking jar of peanut butter and a bunch of chocolate chip cookies, and he was fucking dipping the cookies in the peanut butter and eating them. And anyway, I think this is actually why we left, because he was wasted at this point. And Sean said something and it annoyed him, and so he had just dipped his cookie in the peanut butter and he fucking whipped it at Sean's head, and it like just grazed the hair. You could see the hair just he's like, okay, we're fucking leaving. And then he walked over and punched Sean in the balls.
That's the best part of the whole story.
I'm standing there and I just see him whap, and you see Sean drop, and then the other Sean, he's like, no, Martin, that's bad. We don't hit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That happened while I was working at the shop.
Maybe it'd probably have to be like when you first started, right? Over there.
Yeah, because it was like the first year I was at the shop, because I remember saying, how was your weekend? And you said, mine was fine, but Martin. I'm like, what happened, Martin? No, Martin, that's bad. I was like, You're like, just ask him. I was like, I don't get it. But you told me. You didn't make me, because I'm like, I'm not going to ask him because I didn't feel, it had to have been when I was the first 6 months I was there, because I didn't feel comfortable asking Martin such things like, why am I supposed to tell you no, Martin? That's bad. But makes sense why you guys didn't game over his house anymore. Make him drive. He's not going to drink like that.
Yeah.
Or hopefully not. I just know. It does not give me joy thinking of somebody having their testicles hurt. Just the thought of Martin just getting up drunkenly and just powing somebody hitting him in the
cup check.
just because it's just like, you look at him and you look at him, and when you know him and you conversate and you talk to him, you don't think he'd be the kind of guy that would just kind of like lose his cool like that.
Yeah.
You always think that the great Martini is always in control, and just, I'm like, were you mad because he tried to eat your cookies or something?
I don't remember what it was. He wasn't mad. It was like a kind of fuck you, dude, and tossed his fucking cookie at him. Not I'm going to fucking murder you. It wasn't anything like that. He was just, I think it was joking.
I think what he told me was like, it was kind of like, he was just like, I wasn't even mad. I was just joking, like, here, shut the fuck up, have a cookie. I was like, yeah, that sounds more like Martin. But then walking over and popping him in the nuts. It's not nice to say, but I would probably have paid good money back then just to see it. just because it's so unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
But I do know that a lot of the pen and paper game worlds, it can get very heated.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of people make parodies about it because it's a little known fact, Sam, as you would say. It's a little known fact that we gamers, we want to game our way always, and we don't like losing.
Yeah.
And so, you put an element in there. Like, I'm surprised when that dude was just like, no, I want to bring the Savage World game rules in. I'm surprised you all didn't stand up and like fucking broom brush him out the fucking door, like fucking practical magic. Like, get out of here. We don't want your kind around here.
Well, I mean, we had been gaming with that dude for like a year or two at that point, and most of the time he had been our game master.
Yeah. And maybe that was what his big attitude problem was, is no, he's the game master. You're not doing what he says.
Well, there was more to that story than that. So, I had just bought the Warhammer, the Death Watch game. Uh-huh. And Sean is also a huge fan of Warhammer and Warhammer 40K. So he wanted to play that, and he found some other dude that wanted to game master it, and he fucking had him come over to our house on game night and didn't tell the other Sean that he had invited this dude over to game master Warhammer. And so the dude understandably got upset and left that day, but Sean talked him into coming back. Because basically he got ambushed with here's another game master and we're going to be playing this kind of thing, instead of being like, hey man, we kind of want to play this other game. Right. So.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to do a little ambush if you've tried being subtle about things.
I wasn't there for every conversation that those two had. Yeah. But I don't remember at any point. I assumed that at some point I was like, I actually want to play some Warhammer 40K because we got all the books for it. At that time we did. Yeah. I did. But at the same time, I understood that he wasn't going to fucking run those other games. Yeah. Because he had explicitly said many times that he only wants to run Savage Worlds games.
Which I understand, but what I don't understand is how, like, when you're in a game group, there has to be a general consensus, right? Yeah. And so everybody's cool. Okay, great. But this other game came out. We want to get a crack at it. So we're going to do this game. We're going to invite you to this different stage. Like, he could have said no.
Yeah.
He could have just kept his big boy wool panties on and said no. But he had to have. So it sounds to me almost like he was looking for a. He just reminds me of one of those people. If shit doesn't go their way, they're gonna have a fit, and you're gonna rue the day, motherfuckers. You're gonna rue the day that he walked out of the house on you, but you haven't spoken to him since.
Yeah.
Have you even seen him in passing at game stores or online or in Discord or anything?
No. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, there was a, I'm not even sure what you would refer to it as. There are several of these things. And when I introduced it to him, it was, as far as I knew, the first one. It's called Obsidian Portal. And it's like it's kind of like a chat room, sort of, kind of. It's more to it than that. It's almost like a Facebook, but specifically for gaming.
Okay.
And it's also more complicated than that. Anyway, it's designed to post like information from your game. Mm-hmm. So you'd be like, okay, in tonight's game, we did blah, 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 and we solved this mystery and blah, 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 stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So the game master could post like information about what was going on in the game sessions, so that essentially it would be posted online, the notes of the events or whatever. Right?
Like if somebody had missed that day?
For if somebody had missed that day, or if you're playing and you're like, wait a minute, what did we do last game session? You could get a refresher or whatever, or you could look up the specific stuff that happened.
Okay, that
so
makes
you can
sense.
say, okay, we found this letter to the MacGuffin or whatever the fuck, right? And so, yeah, it was called Obsidian Portal, and like you could set up like a web page effectively for your game, and then you could either make it public or you could make it private, and then you could give everybody in your game group links, and then they could log in and make their own character inside of that. Mm-hmm. And then they could have access to all the information that you post on there as the game master. And then they could also post information. And so they could have a bunch of notes and stuff.
Okay.
So that you could have a record that would be easily accessible for everybody involved. Anyway, I had shown him that, and he started posting on there. And then actually probably like 3 or 4 months ago, I went on there again just to see what was going on. Yeah. If it even still existed, because it could have gone away, but it still exists.
Yeah, so much shit comes and goes so fast.
Yeah. And I saw that he had another game group, but that was several years ago. Yeah. And then that was the last time he had posted, at least under that name. Yeah. Because, you're going by a also known as.
Right. Everybody's got their AKAs. I've got a couple. You've got a couple. We've all got a couple. Yeah. I even have a couple that most people don't know about, and I just leave it that way. Yeah. Because that's like, and you tend to do that because it gives you a little bit of protection on yourself. Yeah. Especially as a female gamer, as long as I've been a female gamer, there are times I've been given a tough time for being a girl, and that's fine. It's like, oh, that's totally fine, because you can go live your miserable life picking on girls like a big man, whatever. I always thought the idea of a game group was to be happy, to have fun, to enjoy adventures together.
I mean, that is the idea.
But you're always
play the games.
But you know what? You're always going to have one person in every group who is the epitome of
the problem child.
Yeah.
I mean, in any subculture, there's always people who are problematic, and usually you try to weed them out from your game group. But oftentimes, like our one old mutual friend, he's constantly asking me, why don't you just go find a different game group? I'm like, these people are my friends, dude. I've known some of them for fucking 20 plus years. Yeah. And so it's not that simple. Also, I don't feel like going through the effort, although there's way less effort now than what it used to be, to find new gaming friends or whatever.
The thing is you can do, everything is so broad and so open. You can keep your gaming friends you have, and if you find you have time on Friday nights, you can go online and do gaming.
Yes, you
with
can play
with
games
D&D
online.
or Pathfinders or Rifts or
Yeah.
whatever.
Rifts will be kind of hard to find, but yeah, the other ones, yeah.
You're like, I'd be so happy if I could find Rifts on start your own. You know, but I mean, it's a lot of effort, and it would be something you probably have to do on Sundays, and Sunday's your sacred day.
Yeah.
Sundays are your sneaky goblin day. It's fine.
Anyway, I actually cooked this last Sunday.
Nice. Anything
It's been a
impressive?
while. No,
Beef, sausage,
beef and sausage.
no
That was it.
bacon,
No bacon.
no cheese, no butter.
No cheese. Well, I cooked using butter.
Nice.
And I didn't get any eggs, so I didn't do that. I just
So you're doing like all protein bowl basically.
yeah. Although I did put like cheese afterwards.
Sure.
I did add cheese and avocado to it.
Nice. Hey, speaking of, because this is something I don't recollect you telling me. Maybe you did, and I just didn't hear it because I was fascinated with the whole Dresden idea. Did you know that there's pen and paper Dresden games?
Yes.
Do you have them?
Yes.
You do not fucking own them.
I have the I have the first Dresden game, I guess. Unfortunately, it's using the Fate system, and I mean, if you like narrative games, they're called, where it's more it's very light on the mechanics. In other words, the rules for a specific.
Right.
You roll this type of dice for this type of action, and blah blah blah. Fate is very sort of general. In fact, they use something that is referred to as fudge dice because fudge is where it comes from. Anyway, basically it's a bunch of D6s, right? Except instead of numbers, well, you can use the regular D6s, but the actual dice that are made for this have two sides that have plus marks on them, two sides that have minus marks on them, and two sides that are blank. And so a plus is a success, a minus is a failure, and a blank is neutral. It doesn't count as anything. And then basically all you're trying to do is get more successes than you have failures. And if you do, then you succeed. That's oversimplification of the system.
Right.
But that's for every fucking thing you do.
But if Martin comes back into town, just one day, we should play it.
Okay.
If Martin comes back into town, because that was like, wait a minute, I don't remember Dagda ever saying.
Yeah, it was years ago that I got it.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously the game came out 20 years ago, so 15, 20 years ago. Around the time of the TV show, I think, is the thing I saw.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
You know, so that's okay. I mean, but I don't know. Would I really want to play a game with Martin? I'd be afraid I'd get chipped and dipped, honestly.
He's not that bad. That was the only time he ever did anything.
But
like
maybe it was just. I think when I asked him about it, like, and he'd said, like I said, he was just like, it wasn't that serious or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I think on reflection, he was just like, maybe everything that he'd ever done to piss me off to that point had kind of come to a head. I don't know.
That's possible.
And that is possible because we all do that.
Yeah.
We all. I don't know. That's just. I know they can't see it, but I'm sure they can hear it in my voice. Just the thought of Martin sitting around in his shorts, dunk a chip cookies, and whack, and then just lumbering over and whack. Because you know what? I feel honestly bad for Sean. Does he still have two testicles?
I assume so. He didn't go to the hospital or anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he did and one of them like exploded, he probably would have said something to you, I think.
Yes. Because I've seen that happen before. You don't fucking just
fuck no.
walk that off.
I just know that although I have not spent a copious amount of time with Sean, I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah.
So, interesting education today. We should probably wrap it up, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Fucking savage.
Okay, everybody. That's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.